Hello, everyone. Do you like stories? I love stories. And today I have got one beautiful story for you all. The name of the story is The Tale of Peter Rabbit. It's my personal favorite, okay? But before we start the story, please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Thank you all. Let's begin. Once upon a time, there were four little rabbits, and their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. They lived with their mother in a sandbank underneath the root of a big fir tree. You know what is a sandbank? A sandbank is a large pile of sand, okay? Now, my dears, said Mrs. Rabbit one morning, I'm going to buy some bread. You may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden, said Mrs. Rabbit one fine morning to all her little bunnies. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were good little bunnies, listened to their mom and went down the lane to gather some blackberries. But Peter ran straight away to Mr. McGregor's garden. Peter was very naughty and he squeezed in from under the gate. First, he ate some lettuce and some French beans, and then he ate some radishes. Then, feeling rather sick, he went to look for some parsley. You know what is parsley? It is a plant whose leaves can be eaten as a cure for stomachache. But whom should he meet but Mr. McGregor? Mr. McGregor was on his hands and knees planting cabbages, but he jumped up and ran after Peter, waving a rake and calling out, Stop, thief! Can you see him running with a rake? Okay, Peter was most dreadfully frightened. He was very frightened, okay? And he rushed all over the garden, for he had forgotten the way back to the gate. Unfortunately, he ran into a gooseberry net and got caught by the large buttons on his blue jacket. Poor Peter! Mr. McGregor came up with a sieve, which he intended to pop upon the top of Peter, but Peter wriggled out just in time. You know what is wriggled out? Wriggled out means escaped by twisting and turning. We do that quite often, isn't it? Okay. He rushed into the tool shed and jumped into the can. He rushed into the tool shed and jumped into a can. It would have been a beautiful thing to hide in had it not had so much water in it. Mr. McGregor was quite sure that Peter was somewhere in the tool shed, perhaps hidden underneath a flower pot. He began to turn them over one by one. I'm going to find you and teach you a lesson, he called out. Just then, Peter sneezed. Achoo! Mr. McGregor was after him in no time, but Peter jumped out of a window. The window was too small for Mr. McGregor, and he was tired of running after Peter. He went back to his work. Peter never stopped running. Peter never stopped running or looking behind him until he got home. He was so tired that he flopped down upon the nice, soft sand on the floor of the rabbit hole. Peter was not very well during the evening. His mother put him to bed and gave him a dose of chamomile tea. You know what is chamomile tea? It is a kind of tea which is used as a cure for stomachache. But Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail had bread and milk and blackberries for their supper. That was the end of the story. I hope you liked the story. So, children, what do we learn from the story? Yes, you're right. We learn that we should always listen to our parents, isn't it? Otherwise, we will land into trouble just like Peter Rabbit. And I know you all are very good and smart children, isn't it? You always listen to your mother. Okay? Bye bye.